What's up guys, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Rumi with her patterns and using her sword. This is from the end of the movie. So, landscape page, pencil eraser, hip pose. If I go too fast. Start with eyes, big eyelash. So head is kind of over to the right hand side. The sword comes down here. So we have two hands in this one holding the handle. So, bit of detail on that. So let's do our best. So we start with her big eyelashes. So you go diagonal and then it comes across. And it kind of flicks up at the end. Now these are like, it's a heavy sort of eyelash line, right? So you thicken it up. You can add the hairs for the eyelashes if you want, but you don't have to. You could just do a smooth black line if you find the hair thing tricky. You could just do it smooth. Right, so coming down the back. Sometimes this is like dark as well. And then we just bring it underneath into the tear duct in the corner. And then big brown eyes, semicircle coming down from the top eyelid line, just there, and a dark pupil, quite big as well. Like so. Sometimes they have a sort of a line there. No eyelid lines. Yeah, no eyelid, it's all just kind of smooth, so. Eyebrow. So just sort of, yeah, just here, very formed, little spike at the front, and then it goes back. Kind of hooks down. And then maybe another sort of square side there, and it goes down again. Sometimes they give her sort of a frown line there as well. So we're slightly three-quarter pose. With the other eye, you're roughly kind of an eye over. It's probably like not the full eye, maybe three-quarters. So just here, you know. So it's like, it's probably from here just to with this pointy bit cut off, that's your distance. So three-quarters of our eye will come over, because like our head's in three-quarter pose, so things are sort of turned a little bit. And then we'll try again for her eyelashes. So up and spiky at the end. Just thicken it up a bit while I'm here. Just adding eyelashes. And then the bottom. Comes around into her tear duct. Big brown eye. Big pupil. And then the eyebrow, again very square, but they do like a little spike at the front and then it goes back. Now this one will go, you kind of go around her forehead, you know, kind of like disappears back here, like around the back of her sort of brow sort of area. So it's not kind of as pointy as the other one. Be a little eyeline there. Just thicken up the eyelashes a bit more, I think. All right, so her nose line, right? So we'll just do kind of like the bridge of her nose, just coming down this way. And then kind of the tip of it sort of here. And then we'll just do a nostril. And a nostril coming out from there. And then sort of the skin of her nostril kind of there. Very small noses. And then maybe some of the skin of the nostril on the other side as well. And that's kind of all you need to do for their nose. All right, so she's kind of smiling, so big lips and smiling. So we'll curve up at the edges. And her mouth is kind of open. We can see her sort of teeth a little bit. So we'll just bring it across. Curve it up. And her bottom lip, very large. And then the top lip, big as well. And then just to open it up a little bit, I'll just carve a little gap around here. Just kind of make it look like there's some teeth in there. All right, so we got chin then. Like so. And their face is real round, right? So we get like her jawline. It's kind of curvy, sort of gradually sort of curving up. Like so. And then the other one kind of like very round. So it's like starts at our eyelash here and starts to go down. Real round cheek. Just down to the chin. Okay, so just above this jawline, we have her sideburn, a little spike just here, and then her hair sort of goes curving around her ear. So the ear comes out this way, right? So it's this, her kind of hairline is here. And then she has earrings too, like earrings. I think it's a very blurry image, but because you know it's kind of, she's swinging her sword, but I think there's two like this, just coming around her ear. And then another one, I think it's one of those long ones. But I guess it's like, starts like this at least. And then I think we get like, you get one of these sort of spiking things here. Like an earring sort of like this. Like a long one. And then her ear lines just inside. That's all they really do for their ears. They don't do much more detail than that. So her hairline now. So your forehead and your nose are roughly about the same size. So like here to here, we'll bring you roughly up to sort of the, where her top of her forehead is. So like the nose, see this? Up to there. And then the hairline will come around here. Sorry, now I seem to have a frog in my throat. And then every now and then we'll get like a spike, because she's got this sort of disheveled kind of hair sort of going on. So a couple of spikes every now and then. And then we go the other way. And then her forehead just comes down this way. Okay, so like her hair and her ear, so she's got one of those, I think we can see like a little spike for her hair coming out there, and then her hair kind of starts to bump that way. But we can see her ear, and it's got like a big gold pointy earring on the top of the ear, just there. And then there's like a big spike coming out here. And then the round part of her head just seems to go this way. And then up this way. It's all textures and stuff. And then of course we have the braid. So this will go like this way. It's kind of like a love heart sort of shape. Textures and stuff all on it, and then we go around, so it's roughly just going in, and it's like the next one, so one goes in there and that one comes out, and it just keeps bumping around here. And put your texture lines on them as well. And then it starts to go down her head. And I think she has like little flowers or something, like little flowers in the hair, I think. Coming down, so we'll go down this way and then add a flower every now and then. They get quite big then down here. And it goes down behind her back pretty long. Just down there. And I'll finish that when we get sort of her body sort of in a bit better. And we'll do some markings on her face. Now these are done with color in the movie, so it's up to you if you want to like draw them in. You can't see them, but there is supposed to be ones over here, so I'll do those as well. It's just the lighting is different. See, you can't see the ones down here. There definitely is some. Yeah, I'll just do a couple maybe coming in on her jaw. All right. Body now. So she's swinging the sword, two hands that way. So we can just see her collar. So the back of her neck is kind of here. And then she has that gold collar that comes around. It just goes underneath her chin. Sort of here. Kind of like that, just a gold rim. And then there's a star. This was the sort of zipper. Right, so then our back just goes down this way. And it's kind of a strap top thing, so it kind of has no sleeves, you know, it's just bare arms. And now I can finish the textures in the hair because we know where her back is, so we can just follow each shape, just curving these lines just to make it look a bit hairy. You know, and every now and then you might have like a strand of hair just coming off because she's not her usual self. Right, so her shoulder going this way, and they don't do like, you know, there's no muscles sort of drawn in. It's just sort of fairly basic, kind of. It just goes very thin. Very thin arms. Very basic 3D modeling. So it just goes up that way. Right, and then we can just see her clothing there and the gold strap sort of area that way. And then her chest comes down under the arm. So that's just the collar. And then a bit of the shoulder here. Okay, so the other arm, like it's very thin, just comes up like here. So both of those hands then are on that sort of golden and blue handle. So say we start with this one. So it goes around there and then around this side. So this will be like the handle part that's been held onto. The finger goes in behind. The handle will come out from here. And we just add knuckles. So And they don't really draw in much detail, they just do that kind of. I might just put some, just like to make it look a bit more bony, sort of. So the other hand, we can see the tips of the fingers, and she has a bit of a gold bracelet just around this arm. So I'll do that first. And then this one comes up. We get to the thumb then, sort of goes. And she's long fingernails, so they're kind of very dark fingers, like black. So I don't know if they draw in the fingernails, like if they like include them. But say we get another sort of finger, and this is just now knuckles just curved over. So each one would be a finger. Just coming down. Her little finger is very small. And then just the pipe. So a ruler may be helpful for this handle, right? You just will go this way first. Okay, and then I'll just finish this in behind. Right, so the bottom of it has a pattern thing. So we'll do this first. I'll try and simplify it a bit. Right, it's kind of like a shamrock, like a clover. Sort of a 3-leaf. Go on, Ireland. And then it has jewels on the inside, I think. So it has another sort of little pink jewel area here. Now I'm simplifying this. And then I'll do another little edge line around. Right, that's the basic idea. It's just pink in there. And then blue light from this area. And then there's like lines that cross. So the sword itself, so we'll go. So I'm gonna, let's try this. So we'll just curve around. And then they seem to like come out kind of like a lamp, you know, like the genie's lamp from Aladdin. It kind of like comes around this way. If that makes sense. Kind of try and keep it like same level, the roller. And then we seem to step up, down, and then across. There's likely some details on this now that just roughly something like this. And then the big blue sword, so it goes out like this first. Yeah, I think it just goes past her, up past her head. Maybe this way. And then in behind, it's a wide sword. It gets slightly narrower at the top, I think. So we'll go just behind her head here. Then we'll do maybe a light line down the middle. Okay, some markings on her skin. Just kind of wrapping around her arms. Kind of like veins, spiky sort of. All this kind of stuff. There's some on her neck. There's some on her neck as well. We just keep going with this. All right. You could, of course, add more if you wanted. But I think that'll do. Rumi using her weapon. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.